I wasn't supposed to be home that afternoon. Sometimes life hands you the truth early, before you're ready to carry it. My job site shut down due to an unexpected power failure. I didn't call. I thought I'd surprise her. Maybe lunch. Maybe just a kiss on the forehead while she worked from home. Something sweet. Something normal. The house was quiet for 1:15 p.m., not the peaceful kind of quiet. The heavy kind. The kind that feels like it's holding its breath. I pushed the front door open softly, like I didn't want to disturb something sacred. Or maybe part of me already knew there was nothing sacred left to disturb. The scent hit me first, vanilla candles and steam. Then came the sound, water, running, laughter. Hers. A low, breathy laugh I hadn't heard in weeks, maybe months, and it wasn't for me. I walked down the hallway like a man approaching his own execution. My boots didn't make a sound on the carpet. My hand didn't shake as I reached for the bathroom door. I didn't shout. I didn't hesitate. I just opened it. There they were. My wife, our neighbor, Tom. In the tub, together, steam curling round them like some cruel curtain, both frozen, caught, naked in body and guilt. She gasped my name like it was some kind of lifeline. He didn't say a word, just stared at me like I was the one who didn't belong there, like I'd walked into their world. That was the moment something inside me stopped, not shattered, not broken, just stopped, like a severed wire. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I didn't throw a single punch. I turned around, walked calmly back down the hall, locked the front door behind me, not out of spite, just to keep the truth in long enough for someone else to see it. Then I picked up my phone and called Marissa, Tom's wife. "Hey," I said, voice steady. "You might want to come over. Bring your spare house key. Tom's here, with mine." She didn't ask questions. She just said, "I'll be there in 5. I sat on the edge of the couch, not shaking, not breathing heavy, just listening to the water still running down the hall. The occasional splash, the hushed whispers. Maybe they thought they had time to come up with a story. They didn't. When Marissa walked in, I didn't greet her. I just pointed. Third door on the right. She walked like a ghost in sneakers, calm, controlled. She pushed the bathroom door open without knocking. And I listened. To the gasps, the scrambles, the explanations, the start of something no apology would ever fix. I didn't go back down the hall. I didn't need to. I already knew what I saw, and I already knew what I was going to do about it. When Marissa opened that bathroom door, the house cracked open with it. I couldn't see inside, but I didn't have to. The sound told me everything. A sharp intake of breath, the squeak of skin against porcelain, the dull clatter of something falling, a shampoo bottle maybe. Then came Tom's voice, awkward and strained. "Marissa, wait." But she didn't wait. Her voice was sharp, not loud, controlled like a surgeon's scalpel. "In our neighbor's bathtub." "Tom, really?" My wife's voice came next, shaky, desperate. "It wasn't like that. I swear. It just happened." I stayed on the couch, sat back, let it unfold like theater. I wasn't detached because I didn't care. I was detached because I cared too much for too long for people who didn't deserve it. A minute later, they both emerged wrapped in towels like shame could be washed off. She tried to speak. "Can we talk?" she asked, eyes glossy. I didn't answer, just nodded toward the hallway. "Get dressed." Tom stood there dripping and pathetic, towel clutched round his waist like modesty suddenly mattered. I turned to him. "Same goes for you. You've got 2 minutes before I let Marissa say what she really wants to say." He flinched, mumbled something, then disappeared down the hall. Marissa didn't sit. She stood near the entryway, arms folded like she was holding herself together by force. Her lips trembled, but she didn't cry. "I had suspicions," she said, her voice flat. "The way he talked about her, like you talk about your car, something you show off, not someone you protect." I nodded slowly, still hadn't said a single angry word, because fury burns fast. I wasn't looking for fire, I was building ice. When they returned, dressed and awkward, she turned to Marissa. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. That's what my wife said. The woman I'd built a life with, who stood beside me when we planted the lilac tree, who helped pick the paint for the nursery we never got to use, who now stood beside the man from 2 houses down. You didn't mean to hurt anyone, Marissa repeated. Then what exactly did you mean to do? Neither answered, and I didn't force one. Instead, I stood, walked over to the door, held it open. Tom, go home. Pack your things. You'll be served in the morning. He looked like he wanted to argue, then saw my face. He left without a word. Marissa followed, her stare colder than mine. I shut the door, didn't even turn to look at my wife. You broke something I don't plan on fixing, I said, still calm. Don't mistake silence for weakness. She nodded like a child. She didn't say sorry. I think she knew it wouldn't matter. That night, I didn't sleep. Not because of rage, because peace was coming, and it started with this silence. I lay in bed that night like a man pinned beneath glass, watching his life from above, unable to touch it. She slept in the guest room, or pretended to. I could hear the occasional creak of the mattress, the soft rustle of sheets, the kind of movement people make when sleep won't come, when guilt tosses them harder than nightmares ever could. I didn't cry. I didn't even blink much, just stared at the ceiling, letting the cracks in the paint above me trace the story. Backward, the missed calls I thought were work, the new workout routine, the sudden spike in her interest in neighborhood barbecues. Every moment clicked into place, like puzzle pieces I'd been too in love to arrange before. I remembered the last time she kissed me without flinching. It had been months. Maybe longer. I thought we were just tired, just busy, just surviving life like everyone else. But no, she had been living something entirely different. And I'd been standing still, thinking stillness meant loyalty. At 3:27 a.m., I sat up and opened my laptop, not to look through photos, not to relive happier times. To begin planning. I emailed my lawyer. I froze our joint accounts. I changed my passwords. I wrote a resignation letter for the life I'd been pretending still belonged to me. I wasn't vengeful. I wasn't erratic. I was methodical because that's who I've always been. And somehow, I knew that was exactly why she thought I'd never leave. But the thing about quiet men is that when we move, it's final. By morning, I had an appointment with a realtor, a new phone ordered, a storage unit rented. She knocked lightly on my door just after sunrise. Her voice was barely audible. Can we talk? I opened it, stared at her, not with rage, not with love. Just nothing. You don't have to say anything, she whispered. Just please, don't do anything drastic. I'm not doing anything drastic, I said, slipping past her. Drastic would be staying. She stood there in her robe, the same one she used to wear during Sunday mornings and pancakes. It looked different now. Everything did. I didn't mean to fall out of love, she said, eyes glossy. It just drifted. And then I got scared. And then Tom. I raised a hand. I don't want the details. Not anymore. You handed the ending to me in steam and silence. I've accepted it. She reached out, fingers grazing my sleeve. Is there really no way back? I looked down at her hand, then back at her. You didn't just break us, I said. You erased us. And that was it. I picked up my bag, just one, walked out into the morning chill, where my breath felt lighter than it had in years. She didn't follow. She stayed behind in that quiet house with its broken air and wet towels and the ghost of what we used to be. And me. I walked forward, without shouting, without vengeance. Just peace, because some endings deserve no noise.